Hi, this is Aaron Summer. I'm the founder of Launchpad Q2C. We are the quote to cash optimization experts, and today we're very excited to introduce to you our newest product, Collections Cockpit, built natively on Salesforce. It's an application that works for Salesforce and Zuora customers, and it allows your finance team to collect more past due revenue faster. It's a tool that's going to absolutely transform your collections process, your team. They're going to be happier, and you're going to collect more revenue faster. This is a very quick slide to give you a little bit of information on our background. We come from the likes of Accenture, Salesforce, and Zuora. We are quote-to-cash experts. We've got lots and lots of experience working with all of these processes, and now we're building optimization applications to help our customers be more successful. Our mission is to provide these lightweight applications and to allow our customers to optimize the existing systems they have, leverage the investments they've made, and ultimately align the software systems with their business objectives and goals and make them more successful. This is to the right a quick snapshot of who some of our customers are. You'll see some logos in there that you probably know. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this slide. You're welcome to hit pause if you want. This is a good summary of some of the capabilities of the Collections Cockpit. It's extremely feature rich. In terms of the architecture, it's built 100% on the Salesforce platform. That's really all you need to know. I'm assuming that many of your finance team already have a license to access your Salesforce org, and they can continue to leverage those licenses to access Salesforce, only now they'll have additional tool at their disposal to help them collect more past due revenue faster. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at a product demonstration. So first of all, you'll notice we're 100% compatible with Lightning. It also works with Classic. So regardless of which of those your team uses, that's totally okay. This is the Collections Cockpit. It's actually all consolidated on 2 tabs, which is really nice. You have your Collections Manager tab, which is where the finance users will go to find all this feature-rich new functionality. And then there's a second tab, Collections Manager, set up for your Salesforce administrator that with very simple configuration can make sure that all of your finance users have access to very fine-grained permissions and controls to make sure they have all of the information and tools they need and absolutely nothing more. So let's scroll down and take a look at some of the different sections of the app. First of all, we've got a dashboard which will give you new metrics that you've never had before. The first one that we take a look at here is as of aging. And so what our application does is it tracks your total outstanding AR balance every day, and it saves it in the database. Chances are you don't have that today, and what that allows us to do is to draw a trend line here, and at any point in time we can go ahead and take a look at the total and see what it is. But the most important thing is this chart is actually going to allow you to gauge the health of your overall collections process. So are you getting better? Are things not getting better? Are there strategic decisions you need to make in terms of hiring collections agents? Do you need to provide your team some new tools and processes? Basically, could you be doing a better job? You won't actually know that unless you have a chart like this. The second metric that I'm showing you here is days sales outstanding. I'm sure you're familiar with this. This is an industry standard term. This is a brand new metric for Salesforce and Zuora users. It basically tracks the average number of days outstanding that your invoices sit across your entire customer base. Again, a great metric to measure the business. You'll get an indication of, are things going well? Are they not going well? Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? And then the last chart, this one is taking your total AR aging and putting it into different buckets. So 91 to 120 days past due, 121 to 150. The thing to know about this dashboard is it's completely extensible and configurable. It's native to Salesforce. If you would rather replace one of these charts with a different one, that's totally okay. This is not hard-coded. This uses standard Salesforce reports and charts technology, and so we can tailor it in a very short amount of time for every one of our customers. The next section is very important. This is your work queue. So every one of these lines represents a billing account that has some sort of past due revenue associated to it. What we're very, very proud of is giving the collections team very, very quick visibility, context, and insight into every individual billing account so they know exactly where to spend their time. You'll get really excited if you look at some of this stuff. So let's take Hooli as an example. At very quick glance, we can see what the total amount past due is. We can see how many total past due invoices they have, whether it's 1 or 2 or 4 or 8. We get to see the number of days of the oldest invoice. We get to see the average days to pay. This is another brand new metric, which is exciting. We run this for every one of your customers, and basically over the course of your relationship with them, we track the number of days, the average number of days that it's taken them to pay an invoice. From the time that an invoice is created to the time that it's due and the time that it's paid, we actually track that, and we figure out what the average is. So you'll get a clear indication about whether customers are early payers, they pay on time, have they historically been late. And if they've historically been late and you have a customer that's in past due status maybe only 2 or 3 days or whatever it is, that might give you the context to move on and spend your time somewhere else, and your collections team can be hyper efficient in terms of where they spend their time. The next thing we do is we give you a configurable collection status to be able to put your customers in buckets. There's some defaults here. These are completely configurable by customer. Are they past due? Does it need outreach? Has an agent connected with them, and have they discussed a promise to pay, which we'll talk about in a second? Have they talked to you about a dispute they might have with an invoice? Maybe it's both. Is there pending dispute approval? Maybe it's so old that it needs to be written off. You can basically, in this queue without ever leaving, set a status and go ahead and click save. This next button excludes individual customers with a click of a button from automated dunning emails that are configurable and sent from Salesforce, and that's going to be on that second tab that we're going to talk to you about. But you can use the power of standard Salesforce workflows to send automated dunning emails to your customers. But when you connect with a customer and you have an agreement with them, it might be the right thing to do to disable those automatic emails so they stop getting them and you're not bothersome to them, and you're able to do that with a click of a button, and then you click save. The next columns here, you'll see maybe the person that you want to contact. It's the bill to name and the bill to cell number. And lastly, it's the assigned agent. So across the collections team, you can assign each one of these billing accounts to certain team members. You can change that assignment. Every team member can log in and they can click this particular checkbox that says only show me the accounts that are assigned to me. Or if you're a manager, you can unselect this and you can see the entire queue. The great thing about this particular work queue here is not just the quick visibility that it gives you into your business and where the time needs to be spent. Every one of your users can, with standard Salesforce views, configurable views, actually control all of the different columns that are going to go ahead and show up in this particular work queue. And so all of the standard views that you're familiar with will be configurable so that every one of your teammates can have all of the right columns that they want to be able to do their jobs. The next thing, I can obviously search for customers here, which is super, super cool. Type in a couple letters, and it will go ahead and pick the particular billing account, which is cool. I can open the details of these particular billing accounts, and I'm going to click open on a couple of them here because we allow you to multitask. And if I scroll down, you'll see it opens up a tab for each one of these. So we understand that that people on collections teams like to multitask, and we give you that capability. When I click on that, it gives me all the information associated to the account. It gives me the average days to pay, gives me total AR aging, gives me the bucket. Again, these are account level details. If I scroll down, it shows me a consolidated list of all of the actions that have been taken with this customer to collect past due revenue. On the left, you'll see pending activities that you can create. These are standard Salesforce events and activities. Everybody's familiar with these. They work great. And then on the right, you'll be able to see completed activities. The nice thing about this is in a second I'm going to show you a native email interface that collections agents can use to do customer outreach. When I send emails, it's going to automatically log as an activity and log the email. When those automated dunning emails that I talked about are sent, those are also logged. So one of the things we find is collections teams oftentimes pass accounts back and forth to be able to do the outreach, and this tool makes everyone's job really easy because anybody who receives a billing account to work on has complete history and context, one consolidated view of all of the actions that have been taken to collect to date. This is true for notes too. This is really, really easy to create new notes. If I scroll down, I get to see a native email interface that I can email customers from. A lot of cool functionality here. You can see you can choose to email the customer with all of their past due invoices. We also generate a CSV file, which is a nice summary of all the past due invoices, the dates, the balances, etc. This uses standard Salesforce email templates. So you guys are familiar with those. You love those. It's really nice. You select the templates and it will automatically populate the template and merge in your fields so you can send emails really, really quickly. The from customer email address is configurable. You can have the subject. We also have a configuration setting which allows you to not just send the email to the bill to contact, but you can also send it to all of the additional emails in Zuora as well. If I scroll down, you'll see for this particular account, I get to see all the invoices, not just the past due invoices, but all the invoices with the total amounts, the balances, the days past due. I can go ahead and open these as well. Again, these are subtabs, and you'll see that I can see all of the individual details of all of these invoices. I can also select particular invoices, and then I can come down and I can log disputes, and I can also log promises to pay. So if you're talking to a customer and they want to dispute an invoice, you can go ahead and log that, and then it becomes reportable and traceable within Salesforce. If I scroll up, some of the things I missed, which are super cool, this has one-click integration to Zuora. So for instance, if I want to process a payment for a particular billing account, all I have to do is click on the process payment button. The first time you click on a button, you'll need to log into Zuora using your credentials, so all of Zuora's security and PCI level 1 compliance are all retained. And it's true for invoices too, because what I can do, if I scroll down, is I can actually go to an invoice and I can click adjust, and it'll automatically take you to that invoice, open up a new tab, take you to that invoice in Zuora, and you can again do all of the things that you need to do. So again, I'm gonna end the demonstration there. There's a huge amount of capability for the end user. The other thing I want to show you is from a configuration side, your Salesforce administrator can do some really snazzy things. So when you install this, it installs very, very easily. We're happy to help you with it. You can upload a file with 2 columns that has the account ID and then the collections manager. And so we'll automatically assign all of your accounts to individual collections agents that can then receive those and begin working really, really quickly. The next thing they do here is all of these permissions are actually per user. So these are all the Salesforce users. And what you can do is you can select the user, and then you have all of these fine-grained permissions. You get to choose everything about a user's experience with our application. So the idea is if you don't want to show those Zuora buttons, the process payment buttons and the adjustment buttons, that's okay, because you just deselect it and that particular user won't see them. If you don't want to show them notes, no problem. There's lots of different settings here. I won't go through all of them. You got the default sender name for the emails. So if you guys have like an email alias that you guys use for your collections agents, that's okay. You can go ahead and put that in here. You get to pick the row sizes for all of the different sections that you saw on that page, and then there's pagination on those pages. Here's you can include the additional emails in dunning, yes or no. And then down here, there's some things that happen when we go ahead and set up. We've got jobs that do database queries and create those great reports and track those new metrics for you. So you can go ahead and set those up and then cancel those if you ever want to turn them off. And then down here is where you'll set up those automated dunning emails using standard Salesforce workflow technology, which is really, really great and really, really powerful. So that is, in a very short period of time, giving you a broad overview of the Collections Manager. I want to go back to the slides real quick, and I want to go and show you just a couple more things. So as a company, today we're talking to you about Collections Cockpit. However, we have a lot of other applications that we have in development, and some of these are completed and some of them are not. But we want you to reach out to us for all of your quote-to-cash needs. If you want to pause and take a look at some of our solutions that we have on the shelf here, we're happy to work with you. And in terms of how you get in touch with us, here's a little bit of information. So we really appreciate your time. Please reach out to us, hit us on the website. We'd be happy to spend time with you personally, understand your needs, the needs of your collections team, give a personalized demonstration, and then also tell you how we can support our application with a full line of professional services for installation, extension, as well as any optimization service around quote to cash. Thank you very much.